For ACUSports.com, I'm Grant Boone as we talk some Wildcat tennis here with head coach Hutton Jones. Coach, before we talk about a very busy upcoming stretch for your men's and women's teams, let's go back to a really fun day on Friday. You had Temple University from Philadelphia in town, and your men's and women's teams took them out. Both won. Just give me the sense of the energy that you were feeling. I know I was feeling it watching some very high-level tennis being played.
Well, I mean, for one thing, we had to get over that it wasn't Temple Junior College. I mean,
Yes.
we had some people
This is
saw,
the Temple. Yeah.
saw Temple on there and said, no, this is the one from up there in Rocky Country, Philadelphia. But no, it was kind of neat because they were coming to Texas to play SMU, and I kind of talked the guy into coming over here and said, this is real Texas. You need to come over here and experience Abilene, which I think he has mixed emotions after leaving because, I would bet the crowd at our place and the energy was going to be something they didn't see when they played SMU. I mean, it was kind of neat, to have that. We don't have that many home matches on the guys' side, to be honest with you, because the conference doesn't have 12 schools like the women, and so it was kind of neat to have both out there at the same time. I always think that's a special feeling, and then to get it done when, as a coach, I know how close that match was, and even though the score might look like it was easy, it wasn't easy, and we had a little home court advantage, I think, with the crowd. So.
Well, I don't think there's any question. It was appropriate, but it was lively, and they, from what I could tell, got under the skin of some of the Owl competitors. Coach, this is going to get lost, I think, easily, but you come back later that day and you beat McMurry, and that's a Division III school, our friends from across town, but you still have to go do it, right? You've just played Temple, and I could see a team having a letdown if you're not careful.
Yeah. Well, we do. I want them to think of a doubleheader as another day at the office, and then we will do that a lot through the front half of the season, and then as we finish out, you won't see that very much. And then when we have just one match in a day, in my mind, you should feel like you could, jump over buildings. You're only playing one match, and so at McMurray, I mean, I love to play the local schools. We always have, and if we can work it in, we can. And that was just a window we could, and they can play some tennis. The scores might not look that good, but you still have to do the things to win the points that's still good for you, and then it's a good conditioning thing to have to go right back out there. So I like to push them like that. But
Coach, you were telling us all last spring and last summer, once the announcement became official that Josh Sheehy was going to come and play for Abilene Christian, how good of a talent he was. We saw it in the fall many times. He's now won 3 Southland Conference Player of the Week honors. The young lefty he's every bit as good as advertised from what I can tell. How about from what you've seen?
Well, it's nice when you recruit somebody and they live up to what you think they can do. It doesn't always work like that. I never necessarily wanted to get rid of anybody, but some I really, thought would do something, and they didn't. And then we've had some surprises too. Some kids who come in, you're just thinking are going to be solid, and they jump up and do well. But Josh is pretty neat. I really felt like if he just got here and got in the environment that things would take care of themselves, and it's kind of neat because it's not easy to walk in and win at number one. It just isn't. And so much of his winning, if you watch that match, he wasn't playing like a freshman. He won that match. Yes, he's talented. There's a lot of talented players. He won that match on his composure and his competitive ability to stay solid. Any panic or any getting annoyed, the guy was a really good player, and the kind of guy that's not going to give you a lot of misses. You were going to end up having to put the ball away and go to the net and be aggressive, and he handled that pressure well. I mean, it's been impressive.
Well, Coach, this is a busy stretch. You get spring break coming up, and you're going to be on the road for a good chunk of that time. The men this weekend go to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. They'll play Southern Miss and Jackson State, and then you'll go to Nichols to start conference play on the men's side. The women's team here Saturday, Sunday to open conference play against Stephen F. Saturday, Northwestern State on Sunday. How about for the women? 5 matches coming up over the next 7 days. This is busy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's busy. Now, physically, to me, it's again, kind of coming back to our one a day, they're not in school.
Yeah.
I mean, that will be no excuse, 5 matches. If we get beat, it's because we didn't do what we needed to do. And I will say, there's not an easy match. I wouldn't sit here and tell you if there was probably and say, oh, that one's going to be easy. But I will just tell you, we're the underdog. Always in my mind, I think we should be getting it done. And over the years, but the last 2 years we've lost to Northwestern. The last 2 years we lost to Stephen F. Austin in very close matches that I don't want to rehash that. I think we should have got it done then, but it'll be the same situation. They're going to be very close matches. Lost a close one to Nichols last year. So there's just, this is Division I tennis. I always say, do you think you go to a pro tournament? I want them to think professionally. Is there going to be an easy round? There's no easy round.
Right. Everything
is tough. So this is just reality. We'll be right there in every one of them, but there's not going to. I wish it was. This is sometimes you yearn for the good old D2 days when they may test you a little bit, but about 99% you're going to win. These are going to be battles that, again, it's kind of be like the Sheehy match the other day. It's just you win because you're tougher and you stay in there and compete better. And so I'm just hoping that we'll gain that advantage because these are very talented, good teams. But.
Well, the men are on the road in Hattiesburg, Mississippi Sunday to take on, in that dual match, Southern Miss and Jackson State. The women right here at the Eager Tennis Pavilion. Come on out and watch some high-quality women's NCAA tennis. Stephen F. on Saturday and Northwestern State on Sunday. For Coach Hutton Jones, I'm Grant Boone for ACUSports.com.